based off of some of your experiences being in these different environments like Africa and different commands, what would you say that did for your marketability, you know, if you were to get out after 4 years of being in the Marine Corps as a judge advocate?
After 4 years, you're in a great position to make a lateral move to any kind of non-government or government work outside of the uniformed service. So when I was a civilian, I was on a hiring committee, and so we looked at resumes. And when you're going through a stack of resumes, one popped out to me, and the reason was that it was not the same as all the other resumes. This one was different because this individual had been a judge advocate in the Navy, so you know, our sister service. But he had been deployed out to Suda Bay, Greece, and solely for the fact that he had this interesting bullet point on his resume, we called this gentleman in for an interview to talk about his experience in the Navy and you know, what he might want to do or bring to our law firm. So that was something, and this was before I had any inkling of joining the Marine Corps. I was purely a civilian lawyer, and I just saw this resume, and I thought it was interesting enough as a civilian with no connection to the military that, hey, we should bring this guy in. So it's just having served in the military, which the Marine Corps is probably one of the most respected brands in the country, puts you a leg above other individuals. Just that professional development and leadership, the reputation that's been built up of 250 years of battles won and better citizens returned back to the community precedes you, and you're joining a part of that legacy, and you're charged with upholding it as well, and that's something that can inspire Marines to do things that they didn't think that they were capable of. And I, you know, from personal experience, being a candidate at officer candidate school and a student at the basic school, and just being in the fleet has caused me to raise my standard of personal conduct beyond what it previously was. Even though I was an established professional, I was a 28-year-old, you know, 5-year associate working at a big law firm in Chicago. And the Marine Corps challenged me in ways that I didn't know were possible, and challenged me to up my standards. So just that alone, if that were it, I would recommend the Marine Corps on that basis solely. However, you have additional things. So the trial experience, the courtroom experience, I did, like I said earlier, mostly civil litigation. So a civil litigation practice largely consists of drafting motions, responding to discovery, drafting discovery, issuing discovery, so trying to get information out of the opposing party and counsel, and arguing motions in court. So generally not in front of a jury, and not examining or cross-examining live witnesses. It's just two counsel in front of a judge arguing about you know, whether so-and-so breached the contract or whether they didn't breach the contract, or whether they've whether someone's entitled to more money from an estate or a trust, or whatever the civil dispute is. It's always of less gravity than someone who's fighting for their liberty. And what I wanted to do, and what I didn't feel fully actualized as a lawyer because I hadn't done a lot of it, was examining live witnesses in court. And that's what the Marine Corps offered. I knew that was there because that criminal practice area was, you know, from seeing a few good men, you know, that's a pretty good representation of what a court-martial is, outside of, you know, some of the theatrics. But that was, I saw that, and I wanted to be that. And the Marine Corps gave me the opportunity to do that. So I stood in this courtroom, and I've unintentionally or intentionally quoted some of the lines from A Few Good Men in live court. And that was a piece of my practice that didn't exist. So, and I told this to my partner level attorneys that were asking me, hey, well, you know, you've got a good life here, why would you join the military? And I said, I will come back to you more qualified and more capable for having done this than if I just stayed here for 4 years. And I think that's been proven true. I'm past my initial service obligation. I could leave if I wanted to, but I stay because it's fun, because it's afforded me interesting opportunities. But in addition to that, I mean, depending on what area of law you want to practice, the Marine Corps can set you up for success to do those things. National security law, or working for 3-letter agencies, the Marine Corps is a great pipeline to do that. To work in certain areas of government, whether you're in government as a federal government employee, or whether you're a civilian contractor, many of those jobs require security clearances. And as you know from your field, getting a top secret clearance or even a secret clearance takes time and it takes money. And if you don't have that clearance and you're trying to work for somebody that requires that clearance, you're going to have to get it. And to get it takes time and money. And if you're an employer, whether government employer or a civilian contractor working for the government, if you're evaluating who to hire, you've got on one hand somebody that's going to take time and money before they can start, or on the other hand you've got somebody who's already ready to go and has worked in government in some capacity. So we see a lot of counsel that get out after 4 years and they go work as an assistant U.S. attorney, so a federal prosecutor, public defenders or federal defenders, so they're doing the same thing but just in the civilian federal workforce. Marines will get out. Some of the more senior ones will go be administrative law judges. They can be in-house counsel. They work at government contractors. Some of them work for the FBI, for the National Security Agency, Geospatial Intelligence Agency. There's just a whole bunch of different things that you're very, very well suited for coming out of here. But I can go back, and at some point, I will go back. I've got probably a 40-year legal career ahead of me, and I can go back and do divorces again. And I like I said, I will be more capable now because I've got that trial experience and I've got additional advocacy experience. So I feel confident, having written motions and argued motions and done discovery for 5 years, that I can do that. And then if the case is going to go to trial, a lot of those civilian litigators that don't have a ton of trial experience are really afraid to go to trial. And so you can see fear in people's faces when the judge says, okay, well, let's go to an evidentiary hearing. And they're like, well, right now? And they're just, yes, swear your first witness. And in the Marine Corps, you've already been through that kind of oh crap moment. Mm-hmm. And so the butterflies are gone and you know what to do. And you've probably done a couple crosses maybe that went wrong. And so now you've made those mistakes and now you're ready to be successful. And you can market yourself to clients and say, hey, I've done this many jury trials, or I've done this many trials, I've represented this many people at court-martial, or on prosecution side, same thing. Mm-hmm. Whereas, as a civilian, and that's the other thing too, the military does a great job of quantifying experience and results. You do a fitness report every year, where when I was a civilian, we eventually instituted something, but it really wasn't anywhere near the Marine Corps evaluations. But at least every year, there's a document that memorializes how much work I did in this role. And whatever the role is, I've got a record now of having represented this amount of clients at court-martial, or having done this many IRO hearings, which are essentially bond court hearings. And that's a very positive thing to be able to go to a future client when they want to know how many jury trials do you have. Well, I can answer that, and here's paper that says that proves that I did that many jury trials. Mm-hmm. So really, I think having done 4 years as a judge advocate in the Marine Corps will set you apart and put you above your peers at that 4-year mark. Those peers who are just going to work at a firm, or who are going to work in some other civilian criminal law capacity where they're doing lower level cases. The military will put you ahead of those individuals and give you some incredible life experiences, like snorkeling with whale sharks in Africa, or teaching recruits how to shoot on the depot, or being a tax center OIC and helping people file 3,000 Forms 1040 for their tax returns every year. So, yeah, I mean, I did 5 years at a big firm in Chicago. I couldn't find you one picture that, like, I look back, oh, those were the good times. I got tons of pictures from the Marine Corps being out in Somalia, or just being with my colleagues in the defense office. In this courtroom, in fact, having just gotten a full acquittal in a GCM here, where we kept somebody out of jail, rightfully so, and the memories will last forever. And I've still got 40 more years to practice. We didn't even touch on the benefits. Mm-hmm. We did not even touch on the GI Bill or TRICARE, or any the military pension system, whatever form of that you're involved in. But the benefits are excellent as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for your time today. And if anyone would like to learn more about what being a judge advocate looks like, some of those benefits mentioned, anything, how to become a Marine officer, you can contact me. My information will be in the video description. I'm happy to link you up with a judge advocate to have one-on-one conversation, ask maybe some more personal questions, some more lifestyle questions, whatever you think might be appropriate. But thank you for your time today, and I hope this ends up being useful for the young law students out there looking for, to start their careers, or for the lawyers and attorneys who have already started their career and are looking to make a career shift. So thank you again, and like I said, video description will have more information on how to contact me. Thanks.